We acknowledge with gratitude that we are gathered on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coquitlam First Nation, who have lived here for thousands of years and continue to care for these lands and waters. We also recognize the shared territory of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Tsleil-Waututh, Cathy, and Musqueam nations. We honor their enduring presence and ongoing contributions to this region.
Welcome to Faces Tri-Cities interview series. I'm Geneviève Kyle-Lefebvre.
And I'm Cathy Cena. Faces Tri-Cities is a co-authored book featuring 50 amazing local women.
And today we are sitting with Angela Calla and some other beautiful co-authors that are here to support each other. So welcome everyone. Angela, welcome. Thank you so much for coming today.
Oh, it's such a pleasure.
It's amazing. So Angela, what inspired you to get involved in this local initiative?
Oh, I live, work, raise my children, and play in this amazing community. So in my opinion, there is no better community than the Tri-Cities. And then to have you two at the helm of the ship and know how committed you are to our communities and to unity and philanthropy, it was a natural fit.
You did respond right away when we launched. Do you remember, Cathy?
Yes,
we launched it.
She was
Angela,
one of the first ones, have her stuff in and go.
They don't say count on Calla for nothing.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, that's not just in your day job. That's your mantra.
That's right.
That's her
count
mantra.
on Calla.
Okay, sounds great. So, thanks for sharing that with us. But what impact does sharing your story have in the Tri-Cities community, Angela?
Well, while we are all so dynamic and different, we have a lot of similarities, and we all are one decision away from maybe a different life. Mm-hmm. And something that I've written, or some risk that I've taken, or some way that I've integrated philanthropy and bringing community together within my group of companies or business or as a leader, can inspire someone else to say, hey, if she can do it, I can too, because she maybe had these fears, or she maybe had these goals, or she might have come across this obstacle. I can maybe collaborate with her. Maybe I can see how she did it, or if she did it, I'm just going to put my foot out there and do it too.
Beautiful. So how does being part of a co-author book help makes a difference?
Sharing your story, lifting others up, getting to know the people in your community in a different way. Most of us, I believe in the book, we have a way that the community knows us. Maybe they know us through our job, but they also get to know us as a mother. They also get to know us as a business leader. They also get to know us as a philanthropist. So integrating these things into community gives you a look behind the glass to see what's really happening in someone's life.
Mm-hmm. And also the chamber, you were Chamber Member of the Year one year, a few years ago. Is that correct? Am I wrong there?
I was Business Leader of the Year.
Business Leader, thank you.
And then Entrepreneur of the Year with the Port Coquitlam community as well.
Yes,
and
exactly. So a lot of people know you. You give back to your community where you can. And I'm just going to sort of...
And I put the Tri-Cities on the map, you know.
Yes, yes, you did.
I've been educating Canadians on finances across the country and around the globe. And so many people are so surprised when they learn that I actually live here in the community. I just, on my show this last week, this guy said, I looked you up and I thought you were going to be in Toronto or something. I said, oh, that place, no way. I'm in the Tri-Cities, I'm in the best cities. And he laughed because he's in Coquitlam as well. And
oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's the best place to live for sure. Angela, we're going to talk about your quote a little bit and why you chose this quote that you wrote in our book. You can take action towards designing your dream life, or you can make excuses. If you believe it, you can achieve it.
Absolutely.
I just got goosebumps sort of saying that, because I think that resonates with so many women out there. There's so many women always saying, it's impossible, I can't. If you can believe it, you can achieve it.
It starts with ourselves.
Well, and I've always thought, why not me? I remember my first time seeing a mortgage broker on television, and it was an older gentleman in the brown suit, and I was like 20 years old, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm saying, nice gentleman, but I don't connect to that. I want someone who's young and vibrant and who's going to be there with me for my financial journey as I grow. I don't connect to that. You know what? I could do it just as good as him. I don't have media experience. I don't have 20 years in my industry, but I can tell you I'll be here in 20 years. You know, you don't have to be great when you start, but you have to start to be great. And you can't let fear. Why not? Oh, I'm young. So what? There's other young people that are watching me. Oh, maybe I don't speak perfectly. Well, I'm a human being. You want to talk to a robot? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know, so I found that when I took action, it took the fear away. And I was super scared because, you know, you're going on TV. How are people going to judge me? Are they going to be looking at me? And, you know, I think one of the cutest things was I was on Global the other day, and I've now been in the business for 21 years. And someone emailed into the studio and said, oh, what does she know? She's not even 40. And I thought, oh, yes, I'm 42. I've been doing this for 21 years. Keep going, darling. You know.
Oh, my gosh.
So, I mean, you just have to, my passion for educating people goes beyond my fear of what people may or may not say. And then, of course, your expertise and the value that you deliver and how you try to bring your community along the way and really excite people about what you're doing and learning something that could be overwhelming for someone continues to inspire me to find new ways to connect with our audience and our community and young people as well.
Yeah, no, just before you get to your next question, it reminds me of a time I was 19. I just want to quickly say this. I can resonate with this and I was selling real estate, like one of the largest things ever. I'm 19. I'm scared. I go to Bob Rennie. I'm like, Bob, you got to help me. He's like, what is it? And he says to me, I said to him, I'm 19 years old. People are not going to respect, believe in me. How am I going to sell them a house? You're going to tell them that what you lack in experience, you make up for in enthusiasm. And that's how you're going to get your experience. The more people that you talk to, the more that you're getting out there, the more sales you're going to be making, and you're going to be a leader in the industry. Well,
That's amazing.
that I had a baby.
I want to show Angela's page.
Yes, of course.
Because it's such a beautiful picture with Angela. I want to show it everywhere. So, but here, there's your book, The Mortgage Code.
Yeah.
And I know then you give the proceed every year to a nonprofit organization local here in the Tri-Cities. So why, first of all, did you write the book, and why do you choose to give the profit to a nonprofit?
Thank you so much for asking. First and foremost, I'm someone who looks to utilize everything in my life as an opportunity. And right after I had my daughter, my husband got into a very serious car accident. Very serious. And my daughter was 10 days old, and my toddler was 2.5. And he was sleeping. I just had a baby. I was a total mess. And when I got the call that he was in the car accident, he said that he had to go to Royal Columbian, right? And I was just panicked, and I couldn't leave. I didn't have anybody that could come at that moment to help me.
Right.
And I was just a hot mess. And I didn't want to go into a hospital with a baby that I'm still navigating nursing, and I'm still a mess, and a toddler at the same time. And I just thought, like, I live in Port Moody. It'd be great if something was at the bottom of it would have been great if there was an option at the bottom of the hill, right? And then I thought, we live in such an affluent community here in the Tri-Cities. And at that time, my husband and I had already been donating to Eagle Ridge Hospital. And we already felt passionate about wanting to grow the hospital and have more world-class medical care closer by for our residents. And so I thought, well, I'm gonna write a book because I had it in the back of my mind, because I've been doing a radio show on CKNW since 2009. I've been doing television educating Canadians on mortgages, and it was just kind of like the next logical step for me to connect with people in a different way. But I thought the most important thing is not doing a book to help people. It's also wrapping your arms around community and showing you care, because I don't think anybody really cares what you know until they know you care. So if you can help those that can't necessarily help you and show other people how they can do that within their businesses as well, for me, that's real leadership. So I just decided that, okay, it's going to be Eagle Ridge Hospital. We're going to get the proceeds there, and I'm going to, lean into this as much as I can. And what I did is, the first year was Eagle Ridge Hospital. Cathy, you were there. You jumped on board right away to help and said, hey, can I report on it? Can I help you? And, it's a mortgage book. My publisher right away was like, hey, this is no 50 Shades of Grey. Like, your expectations better be like here, okay? Because nobody is going to be thrilled to read about mortgages. And I said, I don't believe you. I said, if anybody's going to have a best-selling book on mortgages, it's going to be me. Because I'm not going to write it to be boring. There's not all kinds of like boring terms. What it's about is people like myself, people like you that are everyday Canadians that just want to learn wherever they are on their life stage how to use their mortgage to get ahead. I mean, it's not complicated. And, my 80-year-old grandfather, whose English was a second language, read the book, and it was the only book he actually ever read beyond the newspaper. So we did Eagle Ridge Hospital and then I found it a way to really get community going and learn a lot more about the other great organizations that we have. So the first year we did Eagle Ridge Hospital, we raised thousands of dollars, and it became a bestseller in Canada and the US. And in addition to that, we smashed all kinds of records. So I said, see, when you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to kind of find a way to make it happen. So it's, we all have different ways of being inspired. And then the second year we did Access Youth, but then I had a goal, and then other opportunities came along. All of a sudden, I also had my office opening, and I had the owner of the Coquitlam Express came in, and they saw that I did an audition tape for the Vancouver Canadians to sing the anthem. And so before I know it, I've got all my proceeds going to this book. I'm singing the anthem at a hockey thing. My kids are there. We're raising tons of money. And the volunteers at Access Youth that are counselors for kids, and this was just before COVID, so the pivot was great because it went into helping a lot more than what we knew we were coming up against. But the counselors that were 16 and 17 said, I would have never thought to pick up a mortgage book, but seeing you being young and seeing you like with your family and with your clients and being able to sing the anthem, like, I'm going to read your book. Like, I want to know about mortgages now, right? So for me, that was cool. And then we've continued every year to have that philosophy when we've been looking at where are the proceeds from this book going to go? How can we reach new people? How can we raise more awareness? And, the financial literacy adapted by the book is just a bonus.
It's amazing.
Just a bonus, Jen.
It's just a bonus.
It's good. It's good.
So, Angela, how do you think that your voice can help, bring hope to young women in the Tri-Cities from your story in the book? What's your hope for that?
I think several levels. I mean, again, I think when you look at how young I was when I started, and I didn't have parents that were in the industry, it's not second generation. It all came from the place of, how do you teach Canadians what options they have? How can you advocate for Canadians to be better, to keep more, to get ahead? And I think whenever that's your fuel, regardless of your business, you can then have so much fun designing what your story is going to be. And it doesn't have to be one boring way. It can be whatever you can dream. If you can dream it, you can do it. And if you take a step, you never know what's going to happen.
It's true, yeah. That's true.
I see that you're very involved into the Tri-Cities, so it's going to be perfect for my next question. So what change would you like most to see in our local community?
In our local community, I think that we are seeing change every day. I believe that obviously we need more support in, healthcare. We had to fundraise a lot for our hospital, and it would have been great if there was a lot more support there from the beginning. So I think the focus should always be on infrastructure and the foundation so people can naturally grow.
Excellent.
And be cared for.
And it's so true, right? We need, even like if we're going from not so far from your office, from Poco, like down Coast Meridian, like there's a lot of traffic now there. Not that we're going to talk about traffic, but this is something that is needed in the Tri-Cities.
Yes.
Well, I feel like if I were to open up a dictionary and look up the word community, I would see you there. So I'm going to ask you, what does community mean to you?
Community is what you make it. If you want your community to be great, you have to be great to your community. You have to serve. You always have to come from a place of, what am I doing and how am I treating my community to get that synergy back? I don't go somewhere and say, what can you do for me? I'm saying, I'm going to give my heart and soul into making this the best that it can be. And then I feel that naturally comes back.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
So are there any local causes, events, or organization you're passionate about and you support?
I support a variety of different organizations, and I feel like my book has given me the opportunity to learn about a lot of different organizations, and I've loved learning how they work together. I think starting with the hospital, Eagle Ridge Hospital, I got to learn a lot about Charlene Revley. I got to learn in that foundation. I got to learn a lot about SHARE. I got to learn a lot about Access Youth and what they're doing. I got to learn a lot about Meals on Wheels and what they're doing for seniors. And I've also, not from a philanthropic point of view, but from an operations point of view, I've loved to see the work that Douglas College has been doing. I mean, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to lean into them as much and learn about how they've integrated Meals on Wheels into their kitchen. And I've got some of their interns have come to assist me in my office as well. So, I mean, one step leads to another. I've learned about several organizations. I love learning about more, and I'll continue to learn about more as this journey continues. And as we continue to have these organizations apply for the donations for the book. Oh, there's another really great one, that People's Pantry.
I was just going to say.
People's Pantry, that got the proceeds of my book. Oh, and the YWCA.
They're
They're
Tri-Cities Mom Group too, right?
Yes, and the Tri-Cities Moms.
And I think we need to do Tri-Cities Community TV next.
Oh, there we go.
We need to apply. We need to apply. We need to apply for that.
Yeah.
We need some funding because TELUS cut our funding recently, Angela. So
sorry to hear that.
we definitely need some funding. Go ahead, Jen. Go ahead.
Well, I think, why don't we take a couple questions from the audience?
Yeah, ladies.
Ladies, anybody has a question for Angela?
How do you keep a work-life balance? It sounds like you're very busy and you've got a young family and with work and all these initiatives.
Okay,
Great question.
Thank you.
Yeah, great
Work-life
question.
balance, yes.
Okay, well, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as work-life balance, but it's about doing what you love and being able to integrate those components into what you do, and also supporting yourself with the right people. When I had my son, CKNW was like, you don't need to be driving 2 hours, an hour here and an hour back to do the show. We're going to put a studio in your home. So there you go, a company that supports mothers, right? And had they not made that step forward, I'm not sure I would have been able to maintain my commitment of now being over 15 years with CKNW doing the mortgage show, right? And then that really led the way. Like, they were innovative in saying, we love you. You're a young mom. We can't imagine you doing all that for this as much as we love you. So it's them, it's the people around you that support you too. And then I feel like your partner is important. My husband is a collaborative guy, and he is completely supportive, and he's an equal father. He's not someone who babysits his kids.
No.
You know what I mean? He's really active. He's the hockey coach. He's the baseball coach. He's excited to lean into, getting the kids. So there's not like a family power struggle, and where I see that a lot, like even with the clients that we're helping with financial assistance with getting the right mortgages, there's so much stress around those types of things that it can weigh heavy. So I definitely, the people that you're aligned with and your partnership at home is important. And then doing what you love and bringing your kids into it. I've always thought it was really important for my kids to see what we do and how hard we work and bring it all together. And it's funny that you bring that up, because I did a function, actually it was at the Coquitlam Express, and I'm singing the anthem, and I've got a client party going on, and it was one of my kids' birthdays, and I invited the hockey team to come along too, right? And they're laughing, and they're like, what's going on? Is this a client event? Is this a charity event? Is this? And I said, it's everything. And I said, I can make excuses and say, I don't have time for your birthday party, or I don't have time to raise money for charity, and I don't have time to do this, or I can bring it all together. And my kids see this. And so when they see that I'm not making excuses, I'm finding ways to get it done, and they come to me and they say, oh, Mom, I'm so overwhelmed. And I say, okay, well, let's break it apart. What can we do? Now, when we have an issue, like I'll never forget my son's birthday party was going to be at Nini and Nono's area in the canoe club where they could do all the activities. And guess what? The pipe burst, and this party's supposed to be in 2 days. They came to me and said, okay, Mom, what we've seen is when you have something like this, we're going to find another place, and we're just going to send out one text, and we'll get on the phone, and we'll call these 3 places, and we're going to make it happen, and we're not going to make excuses, and we're not going to waste time talking about why this happened. And I said, absolutely.
Yeah, he was 7 at the time.
Yeah.
I'm sure he must not be that old. How old was he?
Oh, you're right. Well, he was 10.
He was 10.
He was 10.
Okay.
He was 10. But So there is really, it's always chaos, and you know, we have a lot of things that we're passionate about, and they come with us, and sometimes they whine. They're like, "Oh, is this going to be a 2-hour?"
No, it's Shalina. Shalina likes to come on location with you.
Yeah, Shalina comes
she
on
likes-
global with
yeah.
me. You know, we've got 2 kids that have to be in 2 places at 2 times, and you know, Nini and Ono can't do it. So okay, come on, hop in the car, Shalina. You're gonna help me touch up my makeup. We're gonna do global news this morning.
There we go.
There we go. Make it happen.
Absolutely. Do you want to add anything before we let you go, Angela?
I don't think so. Anyone else have any questions?
Actually, I do. Did you say you have a show on
Yes.
what on
CKW.
CKNW?
Yes.
It's a radio show.
It's a radio show.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she's a mortgage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we have our clients join us. Generally, we'll have 1 or 2 clients join us, talk about the experience of getting a mortgage and what
their
their
savings,
experience was
all their
before
savings.
And you
Yeah.
also do some workshops. I noticed sometimes on social media you have some afternoon
Webinars and things,
Webinars, so people can, I guess they can be there and write their questions and being answered live, which I'm sure that helps a lot also.
Yeah, definitely. It does. So we have the show that also turns into a podcast. So we're live Sundays at 3 p.m. and then that goes into a podcast if you miss it. And then in the higher seasons, like right now, we're holding a series on mortgage renewal webinars as well as home buyer webinars, because there's so much change in this space consistently. We, you know, when we record them, we only record them for to view for a day to 3 days max, because there's so many changes with everything around us. We want to make sure we keep things current. So you can register for those at angelacalla.ca and enjoy an hour of really dialing into your specific life stage and circumstance to get the answers you need to move forward.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Angela, for joining us today.
Such a pleasure. Thank you, girls.
Thank you. And it's Cathy, Cena, and Geneviève here with Tri-Cities Community TV. And just remember these words from one of Angela's quotes. If you believe it, you can achieve it. I'll leave you with that today. Thanks so much for watching.